Okay. The next page is very important. Very, very important. So if you're awake, slap yourself right now. Slap the person beside you. I mean, if you're asleep, shake it off, because you got to hear this part now. I'm on page 156. Okay, there are standard lease option deals where you're putting tenant buyer in house, and then there's acts. It clearly is labeled that this is language that you use with acts agreements that is different from the other language. So let's discuss this. The first one is about Exhibit A. So turn back to Exhibit A in your lease agreement, which is on page 152. Now, if it is a 10-year lease, then that's quite easy, isn't it? The term is the same, it's just 10 years out, not 2 years out. But look at D. D on page 156 is meant to replace D on page 152. It says that the current monthly rent, in this case it would be, is whatever it is, whatever the payment is the monthly rent, and will increase or decrease to equal the payment on the underlying loan for the term of the lease. The lessor will notify the lessee in writing with notice and evidence of increase or decrease at least 30 days prior to payment change date. You would take all of that copy and move it down to D on page 152 if it is applicable, if it's an acts deal. Do you get that? Everybody get that? Okay. On next goes to option, which is Exhibit C. All right. On the option, it tells you again to make sure that the deposit in paragraph 3, what am I doing here? Oh, I got the wrong number there, don't I? What am I? It says deposit should show 0 because there is no deposit. It's an assignment fee to you. Oh, this is the acts deal. It's actually in, well, it is, looks like, it's at where it says now, therefore. It is under that paragraph 3, but it's not actually part of that paragraph. Anyway, in the middle of page 153 where it says $10,000, hello? Okay, you put 0 there because there is no option deposit in a case of an acts deal. You can't show it as an option deposit because it's not. It's an assignment fee. Your assignment fee is not shown in your option agreement. Remember, in the case of an acts deal, this is the same option agreement that I've just signed with the seller. It's the same lease agreement that I've signed with the seller. I'm not paying the seller any down payment. Any option payment. My tenant buyer is not paying me any option down payment. So that will say 0. Be careful you don't put the assignment fee under option deposit. That's all it says. Does that make sense? All right. Now, look at the purchase price in the paragraph below, number 1, where it says $200,000 on page 153. You insert one of the 2 lines below that is applicable with the star that are on page 156. For example, if it's as simple as the purchase price equals the loan balance at the time of purchase, then that's what it says right there. You put a star in the blank where the purchase price goes, and then you put a star at the end of paragraph 1 after the words lease agreement. And then you add that language. It will say the purchase price equals the loan balance at the time of closing. If, of course, the seller gets money, then you'll use the one below it that says the purchase price equals the loan balance at the time of closing plus $10,000 or whatever to optionor. Now, was all that confusing enough? Well, you mean the $10,000 to optionor? Okay. Let's try it again because you need to follow this. This is really, really important. Turn back to 153 and look at paragraph 1 where it shows the $200,000 purchase price. If my purchase price is the loan balance at the time of purchase, I cannot put that there. I must put a star on that blank and then go to the end of that paragraph and put another star which refers to that blank, and it says that the purchase price equals the loan balance at the time of closing. If I do not do that, and I put a number up there, then that is my purchase price. I pay on this thing for 10 years, and that's still what I owe. That's a very important change right there. Now remember, when I know it's an ax, I'm going into the seller's home with this agreement in my hand. I'm not using the one we used this morning because I know I'm going to assign this agreement to a tenant buyer. And my intent here is to protect the seller. So I'll use the same agreement that I would install a tenant buyer in a house with. That would be this one, since I'm not staying in the deal. So if I'm going to get this thing filled out in the seller's house, I want to make sure that my purchase price equals the loan balance at the time I purchase it. So I don't want to forget to do number 1. Now when I'm signing it to my lease option buyer, it's already in there and they're covered. The loan balance is whatever it is at the time of purchase. Okay? Is everybody clear on that? I hope. Exhibit D will not apply to an AX deal. That is your down payment assistance program. With AX, we don't need to worry about down payment assistance. We're not keeping the money anyway, and the seller's not going to collect money over and above the rent. And so we just ignore it. It does not apply. All right?